Well, let's find out. Our finalists are ready. $250,000 on the line. Best of 3, game 1, and we're underway with Turn Up winning the tip.
Into the paint is a two-hand jam.
Defense is the factor during this opening quarter, with both sides making plays and forcing mistakes. But it's Skip that forces 3 early fouls on Turn Up's diamond, Danny Granger.
I'm nervous for these guys, man.
All right, I'm here with Carl Anthony Towns. Carl, we're here watching 2 players compete for $250,000. What's going through their head?
I would think first for me, if I was them, I'd say, wow, that's a lot of cheddar up there. But absolutely, you're just trying to be at the top of your game. These guys are needing to make changes throughout the game. You're playing some of the best players in the world, so there's no reason to let one possession go by, skip to my Lou, and everyone's playing really well. So you're just trying to keep it together and make sure they can keep getting wins.
Cool. Now, I have to ask you, you're a major 2K guy. I know you play a little bit of my team.
Yes.
If you could put any starting lineup out there and have any card, what's your starting 5 for my team?
Well, I mean, obviously I'm gonna be biased. I'm gonna pick myself first. I think for me also taking the Brandon Roy card.
Okay.
I need some stability, so I need another center, but I need a mobile center. I think I'm gonna take, actually, you know, I'm gonna go away from mobility. I'm gonna take Shaq Dominant.
Okay.
Be able to move me to power forward. You have a 7 foot, you're able to protect the paint. Also with me being able to move, I can move with whoever they put out there. And small forward, I'm gonna take Michael Jordan, obviously, and point guard. I may give this a surprise. I'm gonna take Derrick Rose. There's now a lot of speed, there's a lot of athleticism, but there also is the ability to shoot from 1 through 4.
That's really cool. Now, what's it like for you to watch esports kind of grow? I know you're very involved with gaming.
Yes, absolutely.
Big 2K guy, obviously. What's your kind of thought on esports and watching players like these guys compete playing basketball?
Well, isn't it amazing? You think about your life, you see esports, and you're never actually thinking about, wow, this may be something that people would like to watch. Thanks to Twitch and Mixer and all these great platforms, these players are now given the opportunity not only to play games as much as they love to do in their free time, but now play for a livelihood. So this is an amazing opportunity in life right now for these teenagers, even for some adults and the kids, to actually play games and possibly put some money in their pocket as well. And with esports being what it is, there's so many more opportunities, not with just money. Now with schools offering scholarships to play these games and everything, it gives them the opportunity to do things that were never imaginable when we were growing up. You're used to $500 championships. You go to GameStop and you're playing and you get $500 for a win. Now we're talking about $250,000. It's an amazing, amazing time we live in to be a gamer.
One final question. When are we going to see Carl Anthony Towns on the final stage out here competing for $250,000?
You know what? I'm hoping it's after I get to the real final stage in the NBA.
Right.
So, you know, you never know. I've been playing 2K my whole life. I felt that I was always really good at it. So, I mean, hey, if I got to go through these guys first, I got a lot more work to do.
Me and you, next year's finals. I think that's what we'll do.
I'll take you up on
Carl,
that.
great season, man. Great talking to you. We'll talk soon.
Appreciate it.
Back into the action. Turn Up locks down on defense to hold on to a 5-point lead at the half.
Here we go, the start of the second half. It's 38-33.
And after the break, both teams attack the rim.
Even if he's coming off the bench, Billy, alley-oop. Final seconds here, the third. Karolinko, nothing but nylon.
D'Angelo, you're having a phenomenal season, but I have to ask, you're watching 2 players compete for $250,000. What do you think's going through their heads right now?
It's a lot of pressure, a lot of money for, you know, best out of 3. You gotta bring your A game, so it's exciting.
For sure. Now, you're obviously a 2K player. I have to ask you, any player, any era, who's your starting 5 for your My Team if you're constructing it and have access to all the cards?
I'm going MJ for sure. KD, I might go Shaq. I'm gonna go myself. I don't care what y'all say, I'm going myself. And I may do like Larry Bird or something like that. Add a shooter out there.
Awesome. Now, what's it like for you to obviously have a great season, but what's it like for you to watch esports grow?
You got guys making money off games that, you know, that can potentially set you up for life, you know, and your family, you know. So I think that's great, and giving guys an opportunity to really, you know, win off that.
In the 4th quarter of Game 1, facing a 6-point deficit, Skip to My Lou sees his opportunity and takes it.
Time's sake. Yeah, there you go. Tongue out and everything.
Dropping a staggering 25 points in the final quarter.
MJ for 3!
That's sweat like water!
He takes the lead with just one chance left for turn-up. In true 2K fashion, with seconds left.
Now turn-up defense can hold it for the final shot. Gives it to Shaq. Gets it to Karolinko. Gets some space for the win. No! And Skip to my Lou will take game number 1.
This is a good game right here, man.
If you don't love that, you don't love NBA 2K basketball. What a game 1 we just saw. A 9-point deficit erased from Skip to my Lou, who goes on to win the game. That was insane. So now, let's jump to your top plays.
It's that time. I'm the 2K MC coming at you with your 2K TV Wow top plays of the week. You submit the plays, you watch the plays, and you choose the winners. Yeah! Up first, it's Max, flexing with Pink Diamond Brandon Roy. Turns the Euro step into a between-the-legs dunk, making it look way too easy on that velvety smooth move. Next, it's Elijah Wan Dream in triple threat. Working with Diamond Agent Zero, spinning and handing it off for the between-the-legs stuff. Dismantling the defense with that mastery on the sticks. Now it's Isaiah Jackson with a ridiculous sequence. Goes to work, makes some room, and destroys the pavement with the power finish. And that ain't all. Forces the turnover, finishes the oop, and tops it off with the game-winning putback. That is some grown adult basketball right there. Finally.
It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Good evening, sports fans. This is 2K Sports. Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny Smith. Tonight, it'll be the New York Knicks going up against the Orlando Magic. Checking out the Magic, they've seemed to come out of the gate just the way they intended. So far, 3 straight wins to start off the new season. And they call him the Unicorn. Kristaps.
If you still want to be a part of any upcoming home games, please visit us online or at the ticket booth or Unique Tickets. Once a ticket, always a ticket.
It's the NBA on 2K Sports. Glad you're here with us tonight for this Monday night presentation. With Hall of Famer Doris Burke and Greg Anthony. This is Kevin Harlan. On the sidelines, we have David Aldridge. And before we get going, let's hear from David Aldridge on the sideline. David?
Well, guys, Kristaps
and Porzingis, DA, a good 3 inches taller than Dirk. He's a very unique talent for sure. Well, tonight a battle between 2 very talented front courts, Doris. This could get pretty physical.
Well, this is a night, Kevin, to me, where the officials could dictate the level of physicality. They know that both teams have big, burly guys up front, that these guys like to engage physically, and so how is the game officiated, particularly at the start? That could set the tone for what could be a cage match.
Personally, do you like those kind of games, Doris?
I like a certain level of physicality, Kevin. I do think that we've cleaned up the perimeter game. I think officiating is such a nuanced deal that the best officials understand innately how something should be called.
All right, let's set the floor. Courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. On the court for Orlando, Jay out there with Vucevic. Then there's J.J. Redick. Then there's D.J. Augustine. And it's Isaac in at the 3 spot. Hardaway kicks to Cantor. Porzingis can't hit. Here's Jay. Oh, and that one, no question, powered it down.
Well, you can see why his teammates love playing with him. Vucevic willing to find the open guy.
Ntilikina pass to Kent. Here's Porzingis. The shot, no good.
3 straight misses to begin the game. Not the start they were hoping for.
Isaac kicks to Vucevic. Redick surveying the D. Now the pass to Jay. Trying to find Vucevic. Gets it to him. Count it. Vucevic has got his first 2 points.
Oh, great ball movement there.
For New York, they've gone 0 of 3 from the field to start the game. Here's Ntilikina. No good, unable to end this run. For Orlando, they've gone 4 of 4 to start, so a nice offensive rhythm to start here. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul. Doris, you were the first female commentator to ever call a Knicks game on radio or television, and I imagine you remember that first broadcast very well.
I sure do, Kevin. It was against the Bucks. I filled in for the great Clyde Frazier, and the Knicks had just made it to the finals the year before, so it was exciting on a number of levels.
And he sinks the second. And about 2 minutes played here in the first quarter. They've been looking out of sync offensively.
Yeah, their offense has ground to a standstill.
Here's Cantor, and he drops it in from the low post.
They needed that. Just 1 for 5 to start this ball game.
Jay, headed by Porzingis. No good from Jay.
Ooh, couldn't quite get that one. 4 for 5.
Down low. And it's Orlando with the rebound. They come in fresh off a win against the Heat.
And look, it's always tough to win on the road. You've got to go in with the right mindset, and they did.
I think, Greg, they didn't let the crowd or the noise get to them, and they have to be happy with how they played and executed on the road in that one.
And where's the help? Obviously, a missed rotation, something they're going to want to patch up.
Right, because otherwise you're going to give up those close range opportunities all night. If you allow the opposition to get into a groove, look out.
And he just dangles from the bucket after sending that one through.
And you can see which team has the swagger right now. Knicks trail by 7. Ntilikina kicks to Cantor. Left side, Porzingis. The shot is good. It's his second bucket in 5 tries.
Well, he has such a great feel for what the defense is conceding, and Kristaps Porzingis makes a nice play on the inside. Well, I'll tell you, he's been a go-to guy for them as they've taken this lead, and he keeps coming.
And the Knicks decide to take their first time out here. This, of course, their first opportunity to play Orlando this season.
And here we go. The first in what will be a 3-game season series between the 2 teams.
You know, right out of the gates, one team gets a lead with the head-to-head advantage, bragging rights, if you will, over the other. And tonight, it starts.
So Orlando going with an almost entirely new group here. Bamba is checked in for Vucevic. Terrence Ross comes in for Jonathan Isaac. Evan Fournier is checked in for J.J. Redick. And it's Jaren Grant in for Augustine. Trier, that's good.
And he likes to get in a rhythm early. Nice triple.
Magic leading by 4. Bamba.
And that 7'9" wingspan on full display there. Bamba swooping in with authority.
For New York, they've gone 4 for 9 from the field to start this game off. Trier passes to Gay. It's hauled in by the Magic. 1:10 left to play in the first quarter. Terrence Ross, Doris, one of the more athletic wingmen in the league.
Right, Kevin. This guy's got great reach and frame for the position he plays, and he's always been able to dazzle at times, but he can also disappear. So this guy has got to find that ability to get involved and stay active.
And that one's good by Gay.
Gotta admire the fast release of Gay. Once he has the ball in his hands, he's looking to shoot.
Grant outside. Orlando moving the ball around. Inside. Bamba kicks to Ross. Pass to Jay. Elbow shot is on the way. Vonleh with the rebound.
The D slow to rotate, and he misses out on an easy chance from mid-range.
Pass to Ntilikina. Now Vonleh, he's covered by Grant. Gay outside. And the Knicks hit again from deep.
The defense a step slow, and you can see the result.
Here's Jay. The shot, no good. Here's Ntilikina. And it's off the back rim, no good. He gets it up. That shot off, and we'll be right back after this. Enes Kanter traded to the Knicks in 2017. Said he was...
Man, it's just like dream come true. I'm going to New York. I was like...
that's a great play. So New York going with almost an entire new group here. Vonleh's checked in for Zeller. Porzingis is coming in for Robinson. Knox, he's checked in for Rudy Gay. Hardaway is subbed in for Trier. From outside the arc, that shot's good from Jay. Jay's got 16.
Just look at what a sniper he is from long range. He's got such an unusual skill for a big fella.
We've got Ntilikina. Knox out there with Porzingis. Then there's Tim Hardaway Jr. And it's Vonleh in at the 5. So that's who's on the floor for the Knicks.
Something that's kept this game close is the fact that the rebound stats for both teams are almost identical.
He gets a chance now to catch up with the fourth member of our crew, Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
Well, Jay in that last matchup against the Heat was outstanding. He ended up with 47 points, and he seemed to have a hand in all the big defensive stops, putting up good numbers in both the steal and block columns. The stat line was filled, and the whole league is talking about it. We'll see what he does for an encore tonight, Kevin.
Hey, David, thank you. Any chance he can match that, guys, and that performance again here tonight?
I tell you what, I know he believes he can. His confidence right now is sky high, and he doesn't think there's anybody that can stop him.
Well, there might not be, because he's coming into this game thinking he can be just as dominant as he was the last time he took the floor. Oh, he is one hard player to deal with at the offensive end.
Grant kicks to Redick. Jay the pass to Redick. Grant up top to the middle. Porzingis with the steal and pushing it up. Here's New York. Hardaway with a wide open look. And again, it's New York.
You can see the kind of confidence Hardaway has in his shot. This guy is so fluid in the catch and shoot situations.
No good from Jay. From deep three-point range. And that's it for the first half of action. What's been a very close game here. Magic out in front, up by 4. And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Thanks, Kevin. Alongside Aaron Gordon. Aaron, you guys came out and played extremely well. What was the mindset in the first half?
We just tried to come out here, really stick to our principles, pick up the pace, and really be aggressive.
Thanks so much, Dave, for the great interview. Don't go away, folks. We'll be back for the second half of basketball right after this. And in that first half, we saw a pretty tight battle. We'll soon find out what sort of adjustments were discussed during the half. It's been one outstanding game from Jay.
Well, they've done a good job of letting the game come to them, and really few forced shots here so far.
I think, Greg, we're seeing a couple things. Terrific play calling, unselfish nature, and quality shooting. That makes for good offense.
On the court for Orlando, they've got J.J. Redick. Jay out there with Vucevic. Then there's Jonathan Isaac. And it's Augustine in at the 1 spot. We now have rules, Doris, that protect shooters from defenders stepping underneath them. But what about when the defender leaves his feet and the offensive player steps underneath and tries to draw the foul?
Well, I think one of the things that we have to look at is, okay, we certainly do not want the defender to have unnatural movements which place him underneath the feet of the shooter, because that's where injuries can happen. On the other side of the equation, and this has become problematic to me, you see far too many shooters either jump unnaturally outside of what should be a straight up and down shooting motion, or guys who kick their legs sideways in an attempt to draw contact and fall over. But Kev, this is where officiating is about feel, touch, and vision.
Orlando on D. Their biggest lead of the game was 9. Porzingis kicks to Cantor. 6 on the shot clock. Here's Ntilikina, covered by Redick. Jay, the pass to Augustine. And Cantor pulls it down.
He definitely got nervous at the rim. I mean, he needs to make sure he finishes strong.
Hardaway, no good.
Not the kind of strong finish it should have been. Something threw him off.
Jay, the pass to Vucevic. Passes it to Jay. And pushing it up, here's New York. Hardaway against Redick, misses in close.
Tough start to the second half, just 1 for 5. Wow.
Here's Jay, drops one in from the wing. Jay's got 22 points.
Well, tremendous understanding from the young Jonathan Isaac. How about that awareness for the young guy?
Time call here. The Knicks decide to talk it over. Without question, Jay displaying his skills today.
He's flat giving it to him right now, and this timeout is critical if they're going to stop his momentum. I think you've got to make some major defensive adjustments.
Several teams changing it up here. He's been on fire lately.
In for the Magic, Jay.
Orlando moving the ball around.
Wow, what a pass there. He made that a very easy basket with that setup.
Third quarter here, and 3 minutes have come off the clock. Here's Ntilikina. Here's Trier. The three-pointer, no good. Jay, he's covered by Gay. The shot's good from Jay. Now it's a 7-point Magic lead. Ball's knocked loose. To the inside. That one, no good. And New York will come the other way. The Oklahoma City Thunder will be in town for the next one. And that will be the middle game of this 3-game homestand. Ntilikina kicks to Gay. And the Knicks miss again.
Boy, that's a tough miss. Does well to get himself open and then botches it up.
And Rudy Gay, Greg, has always been a fantastic scorer since he came into the NBA.
And Gay doesn't do as much scoring as he once did, but he has become more efficient. Doesn't have plays ran for him, gets looks through his instinct. And as he's gotten older, Gay has become even more crafty with how he scores.
Well, he continues to have trouble with his shot, well below 50% from the field in this period.
The activity from Bamba when he's playing with a high motor, watch out.
They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've gone a long time without a bucket.
New York calls timeout.
Yeah, the amount of points they've given up here in the paint, that's what they've got to talk about.
Well, I think they've got to ramp up the pressure. There's no excuse for letting them score at will in the paint. Make them feel you.
So for the Knicks, Noah Vonleh, he's checked in for Robinson. Porzingis is coming in for Zeller. And Hardaway is subbed in for Ntilikina. And stolen by Gordon. To the paint, here's Augustine. And the rebound goes to the Knicks. Gay outside. Looking to end the run. And there it is for him. Gay's got his third basket of the night right there.
And this is an area where Gay is especially dangerous. A terrific mid-range scorer.
Augustine looking around. Now the pass to Jay. Bamba kicks to Augustine. Just 5 to shoot. Inside, stolen by Gay. To the paint, here's Porzingis. A good finish at the rack off the slick feed. Porzingis has got 13.
What you love is how complete a player Kristaps Porzingis is. There is a variety of ways with which he can score it.
And so it's the Orlando Magic heading to the bench with a 7-point lead as we wrap up the quarter. And they've done a phenomenal job down low, so many of their points coming right at the rim. And we'll be right back after this. And let's go back to a terrific pass that we're calling tonight our State Farm assist of the game.
And the definition of teamwork right there, guys. I mean, what great communication between them, and what a beautiful feed.
And, Greg, nothing better than chemistry, right? Working together to create a bucket.
Fourth quarter of action is upon us. Thanks, as always, for joining us. Here's Augustine bringing it up now for the Magic. They've led by as many as 11 points. Inside, it's Porzingis and Cantor. Trier out there with Hardaway. And it's Knox in at the small forward position. That's the 5 for New York right now. Right wing. Here's Cantor. And again, it's New York.
Well, more and more, that mid-range game becoming something you've got to deal with when guarding Enes Kanter.
Redick passes to Jay. Got that bucket in no time at all. Jay's got 28.
How many times have we seen a possession like that from them today? Ending with a basket, coming off a pretty pass.
Right side, Porzingis. No good on the shot, a bit long that time.
A good job by him on the glass here tonight. +8 in that department.
And the call on the shot that sends him to the line. That's on Enes Kanter. That free throw good from James. Both free throws good from Jay. A lot of offenses, Doris, initiate that high pick-and-roll offense, which is so fun to watch. Which ball handlers do you want running that play for you if you were on the sideline?
Come on now, there are some master manipulators in the pick-and-roll. Let's begin with the great James Harden. We'll begin with his teammate Chris Paul. Steph Curry. You give Steph Curry options to read in a pick-and-roll, he's going to make the right choice. There are a lot of guys who can manipulate the defense in a pick and roll, but those 3 are at the top of my list.
Now, here's Kanter. Rebounded by Vucevic. Vucevic has got his 7th rebound here tonight. To the wing right side. Good ball movement here by the Magic. And that one drops.
They should continue to get the ball inside. The defense struggling to contain them.
Here's Trier, headed by Augustine, and the dunk by Porzingis.
You know, at 7'3", yes, he can dunk, but with that athleticism and his sense for the dramatic and his flair, look out, folks, he can be special.
Time called here. The Magic decide to talk it over. The thing about Porzingis, interesting guy beyond just basketball.
No doubt, Kev. I mean, here's a man who speaks 3 languages. He had a Carmelo Anthony jersey as a kid. He had a couple of Latvian rap songs written about him, and the guy's just getting started.
Frank Ntilikina is checked in for New York.
And they've had assists now on their last 3 baskets.
And Kanter throws it down.
Can't leave anyone uncovered around Ntilikina. He is so adept at exploiting situations like that.
Augustine passes to Jay. Porzingis with the block.
Boy, did they need that rebound. I mean, they have struggled on the boards overall, but still with a chance to win.
Lets it go from the wing. He can't hit that time. Orlando leading by 11. Here's Jay. Ntilikina with the rebound.
I I didn't see that miss coming. I mean, he's usually been money from that range.
And Jay gets the whistle that time. That's his first foul. And over 2.5 minutes in the books here in the fourth. Here's Porzingis. It's rebounded by Jay. Jay's got 4 rebounds in this game. And the basket is good, and he's got a chance here for one more at the line.
Well, in that individual matchup, the rim is totally unprotected. He's just got too much size on him.
That's good from Jay. Third minute of action now gone here in the fourth. Ntilikina kicks to Porzingis. To the middle. Vucevic with the block.
Boy, when Vucevic is in that area, he's capable of sending it back.
Pass to Jay. Isaac with the ball. Out to the right wing. Here's Jay. Rebounded by Hardaway.
Well, yeah, I mean, you want to give your offense a chance, and that possession didn't do it.
Not at all, Greg. I mean, no reason for him to be taking these kinds of shots. He has only himself to blame. This guy's pulling his weight tonight. The guys around him need to pick up the slack and start following his lead.
Here's Isaac. Good on the 13-footer. And the Magic lead by 14.
Well, I like seeing Jonathan Isaac work in the mid-range. This guy is demonstrating the touch to score from there.
That is just a careless turnover. You've got to be smarter in those exchanges.
Magic have gone 7 of 10 shooting the ball since the start of the fourth quarter. Vucevic with the bucket.
And this is going to end in a lopsided victory. I love the tenacity and aggressiveness as well as the ability to close. You really got to give it up here for the Magic.
What do you think was the deciding factor in this one?
I think you have to look at their field goal percentage. They just shot the ball much better than the opponent, and they were getting great looks all game long.
And during the long NBA season, each contest important here tonight. Tonight's win will give them 4 on the season.
And this is a great way for them to kick off this season series. 2 more games ahead, and they've taken the mental advantage with this win tonight.
The one player that really stands out, of course, in this one, it was a dazzling game for Jay.
Well, guys, this guy has been a handful all night long. His scoring really propelled them, and no matter what the matchup was or what the scheme they tried to use, they could not keep this guy in check.
Pass to Knox. Shoots over Isaac. It's good, only a few seconds into the shot clock.
And guys, you got to ask, where was this effort when it mattered? The game's over now.
Right. Frustrating for sure, Greg. I don't think they'll be able to mount a comeback at this point.
New York on D. It's a 14-point game.
I'll tell you, when you're the visiting team, it can be hard to maintain focus, but not tonight.
No, I think that they've been locked in during this game. They didn't let the opposing crowd get to them at all. This has been pure domination.
Passes it to Jay. Misses off the right iron. And Jay gets the whistle that time. That'll be his second foul of the game. And so it's Orlando taking this one by a big margin. A resounding victory for them. And Greg in enemy territory, no less.
That's exactly right. But with the way they controlled the game and just completely took the crowd out of it, that's how to get it done on the road.
And that'll do it, folks. For Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. We'll see you later.
Yes, good game, fellas. Good game. We did it. Big time shot. Big time shot. That's it right there.
It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Good evening, sports fans. This is 2K Sports. Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny Smith. In a few moments, we'll be sending you out to Indianapolis as the Pacers go up against the Orlando Magic. Well, for Orlando, it's been an ideal start to the season for them. They've won their first 4 games. No early season jitters for these guys so far. And already the grind of the new season starting to show. Shaq, how do you stay fresh for the long haul, both as a player and as just a massive individual?
Veteran guys.
Now let's meet the starters for your Pacers. At point guard.
Hi, everyone. Greetings from 2K Sports. Get ready for some NBA action. This is Kevin Harlan with Clark Kellogg, Greg Anthony, our sideline reporter, the Hall of Famer David Aldridge. We've got a special treat for you folks tonight. Sports writing heavyweight Bill Simmons is in the house. Bill, welcome to 2K Sports.
What an honor. I've been waiting for the invite for years.
And we've been waiting for the acceptance. Thanks for joining us.
Let's do this.
Pacers trying to take advantage of their home court in this one before leaving Indiana. This, of course, their first opportunity to play Orlando this season. The guys, they got swept in last year's series, and you know that's the first and foremost thing in their minds as they look to turn the tables this time around.
And this, the first of 3 games these two teams will play against one another this season.
Yeah, you know, these are 2 rival teams that will see each other a fair amount this season. We'll see which team can tip it off with a win.
A look at the starting group for the Magic. We've got DJ Augustine. Vucevic is out there with Jay. Then there's J.J. Redick, and it's Isaac in at the 3, the small forward. Domantas Sabonis, the son of the legendary Arvydas Sabonis. Bill, you saw Arvydas play. I was impressed with his game and called a lot of his games. When you think back to the time that the elder Sabonis was in the game, what do you remember?
Not much. I mean, we saw Sabonis at
the end.
At the end of his career, the equivalent of seeing like Dwayne Wade on the Miami last year or something. Sabonis in the 80s, by all accounts, was the most talented center, maybe other than Bill Walton, that we've seen for all-around centers. I still think
that's quite a statement.
Yeah, I think Kareem, just for physical skills and the stuff he brought to the table, is still number 1. The skyhook is the greatest shot of all time. But Sabonis was like, could shoot from the outside. He was a Bill Walton type passer, incredible rebounder, huge. Probably had the biggest head I've ever seen in person.
Huge.
It was just this big granite block of a head. And unfortunately, we didn't have League Pass back then. We didn't have YouTube. We didn't really have any way to see these guys. So you just kind of heard about the legend of Sabonis. Now you think about fast forward to 2018, Luka Doncic comes into the lottery, and we've all watched him. You go on YouTube, you can watch the EuroLeague finals on NBA TV.
Right.
And I have opinions on this guy. I had no opinions on Sabonis in the mid-'80s, just what people told me.
And discussing Sabonis and his unusual qualities, Bill, he had a vision game that played right into the way he operated. He saw so much of the floor.
Right, and was a sick athlete in the 80s. His knees and his feet started going on him, and he was a little like the Bill Walton thing. He was almost too big for basketball, but by all accounts,
his
just had the 5-tool player.
That is ferocious.
You said it. That was ferocious.
Ammonia strong, we call that. Wear that rim out.
Bill, you've watched the NBA evolve. Talk about some of the biggest changes over the last decade you've seen.
The three-point line and the threes or foul shots philosophy, I think, is the biggest thing. Just the pace of the game has really improved and to a really pleasing way for fans. Like just what Steve Nash was doing last decade and those Suns teams, that everybody's playing that way now. I think the social media and the players basically getting rid of the wall between them and the fans, using social media, using Instagram, and we just feel like we know these guys better. And their ability to control their own message now versus where they were 10 years ago.
Huge.
It all started with the decision in LeBron James and has carried through this whole decade. And these guys now, they can get whatever message out they want. They can criticize the president. They can criticize their own team. They can ask for a trade. If they get called out by some writer or somebody who writes a hit piece, they can go back at the guy and sick all their fans on the writer.
So Indiana ends up with a new group on the floor. So Orlando going with an almost entirely new group here. Bamba is checked in for Vucevic. Gordon comes in for Isaac. Fournier is checked in for J.J. Redick. And it's Grant in for Augustine. Here's Bender, following the score by Mohamed Bamba. Bender the pass to Leaf, and he uses the glass on the layup. Going back to our topic from a moment ago, Bill, you mentioned the interaction between players and social media and how that's become a new facet, a skill we're seeing daily from players.
There's just way more accountability now, and I'm really impressed by how polished the guys are that come in the league now. And I think the LeBron generation, LeBron, Wade, Chris Bosh, some of those guys from the last generation that came up and became vets and really knew how, Paul Pierce, who knew how to handle their business. Now these new guys come in, they're 19, 20 years old, and they act like they're 30. I'm sure you see it at the games.
Shocking.
Whereas in the 90s, it was a free-for-all, and you had these guys who, if you gave them a live mic, you were terrified. And now these guys are 19 years old,
Polished.
giving, long interviews to reporters. It's like, how are you doing this?
Tatum in particular is very
Tatum's
impressive.
already good at being a bad interview.
He's
like he
19 years
he
old.
doesn't say anything. He knows how to dodge any question. It's like, you're 19. How do you know how to do this?
Unbelievable. Here's Bamba and the dunk by Bamba.
Yeah, the clever Frenchman. Fournier solid at recognizing when the defense isn't covering one of his teammates.
The shot and game clock separated by 4. Rondo kicks to Bender. And it's blocked by Gordon.
And already they've staked out a noticeable advantage in terms of aggression and controlling the backboard.
And the trend they'd love to continue right through the next 3 quarters as well, Greg.
It's stolen. 1 second left. Yep, that one goes in there. Jay's got 17.
In this first period, they've been aggressive and extremely focused.
Yeah, this is a big lead right now, a big one, and they've seized momentum and showing no signs of letting it go.
And so it's Orlando going into the break with a 10-point lead. They've dictated the pace, pushed the ball at every chance, and it's paying off for them. Back right after this. Jimmy Butler, a hard worker on the floor and off the court as well, possesses a unique individuality.
I worked extremely hard.
A boombox. So Indiana ends up with a new group on the floor. Bill, with last year's do-or-die season finale between Minnesota and Denver, final game of the regular season, momentum is gathering for a play-in tournament, maybe for the last 2 playoff spots. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I wrote about this in 07. I called it the Entertaining as Hell tournament, where basically the first 7 seeds were guaranteed, and the 16 teams that didn't make it out of the 2 conferences, they just went head-to-head, single elimination. And then you have the final 2 games in New York City, and you blow it out, and you have a fun thing with it. I think that Minnesota-Denver game was important, and maybe the solution is, the 6 seeds guaranteed in each conference. And then you have 7, 8, 9, 10 in each conference, and you just have playing games. You have 7 versus 10. You have 8 versus 9. you do it over the course of a couple days. Use the TV revenue from that, because you could get good money from that, to maybe shorten the season.
Great
which
idea.
Would be, for me, the number one thing I would change about the league. I think we should have a 70-game season. You could talk me into 76, but there's too many games. There's too many nights where the players... I just think basketball is really hard to play.
Sabonis and Turner inside. Then there's Jimmy Butler. Then there's Oladipo, and it's Holiday in at the point guard. So that's the group out there for Indiana. And keeping us updated from the sideline, let's swing it over to David Aldridge.
Well, Jay in that last matchup against the Knicks was superb. He finished with 39 points, and along with what he did on offense, he had a big defensive night as well. A very solid stat line for him in what was a terrific outing. And you know he wants to keep the momentum going, Kevin.
David, appreciate the report. He was a one-man show in that game.
And, you know, it'll be interesting to see how much that took out of him. I mean, he'll have a hard time putting up anything even close to those numbers here tonight.
Well, Greg, you know where I'm going. He was a stat sheet stuffer in that game. Did a little bit of everything and did it all well.
Now, here's Oladipo. 14 points from him the last game against Houston.
But it didn't deter him from attacking defensively. His pressure was terrific. He also got 3 steals in that game.
Hey, Bill, thanks for coming by. Fantastic stuff as usual. We really appreciate your time.
Appreciate being on. Go Celtics.
You can't root on these, Bill.
I'm absolutely rooting. That's my team.
And Clark, always great to have Bill with us, a content creator who really taps into what the audience is thinking.
Could not agree with you more. Amen to all of that, Kevin. He's got a very loyal fan base and readers and viewers that share his vision, not just on sports, but on life. And that strong connection he has with them is admirable.
Timeout called the Pacers. A tough loss coming against the Rockets in the last game they played.
Yeah, we saw no matter what they tried offensively, the opponent just had the answer.
Yep, they sure did. Seemed like they had them completely figured out, hammered them with their aggressive defense throughout the game.
In a blazing start to the new season, we looked at the updated power ranking. Some teams are hot and some teams aren't. You look at Orlando. They've achieved some upward momentum, climbing to the 5th spot on the board.
And looking at Orlando, they know what they're capable of. They have the talent to be a much better team than they've shown, but the execution has got to improve.
Out of bounds, Orlando takes possession. While there's a break in the action, let's take a look at the players who had the most steals in the league last season. Well, you look at Jay, always dangerous on the court. He leads the league.
There were so many nights when he controlled the game through his defense. Not a surprise to see him ranked at the top.
Off the mark there with the three-point shot.
In the first quarter, he was killing them from outside, but he can't get it going here.
It's stolen by Oladipo. There's 37 seconds left here in the second. Butler in the corner. And the Pacers can't get it to go.
And they've just tried everything to stem the tide here, but nothing seems to work.
Yeah, they can't find anything. They're lost right now. Everything working against them.
And here's Holiday, who will bring it up for Indiana. Knocks it loose. Stolen by Grant. Over Holiday. And no luck with that time on the buzzer beater. A dominating first half of basketball, and so far hasn't been close. Orlando out in front as they score 12 in a row to finish the quarter on a big-time run. And we'll be back right after halftime for the start of the third quarter. We'll see you in a bit. Well, we've got a second half of basketball for you. We think it's going to be pretty good. A big comeback, though, is needed for this game to be competitive, and it probably has to happen quickly. It's been one outstanding game from Jay.
And I'll tell you, his work on the blocks in that first half really impressive.
Yeah, he squatted on that paint area and owned it, perfectly using his size and that soft touch inside. That's a heck of a combination, strength, size, and soft touch. Nice.
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups courtesy of Gatorade for the second half of basketball. And so in the game for the Magic, they've got J.J. Redick. Jonathan Isaac is out there with Jay, and it's Vucevic, and it's Augustine in at the 1. We know star power is critical, Clark, but when you look at the great bench players, what distinguishes them in your estimation?
A couple of things, Kevin, when you talk about outstanding role players. One is not only do they accept their role, they embrace it. They thrive in it. They really relish it. It could be impacting the game defensively or impacting it with energy and offensive rebound. Sometimes it's a designated scorer who comes off the bench to just inject offense. Lou Williams as a 6th man.
Sure.
Vinnie Johnson when he was with the Pistons. I mean, there are a number of guys. John Havlicek, his great Hall of Fame career was pretty much started as a 6th man. So Kevin McHale and so forth. You can go down the list, but they impact the outcome with some aspect or aspects of their game, which is awesome to see.
For the Magic, Bamba comes in for Vucevic, and it's Ross in for Isaac.
And when you give Oladipo a running start, he's going to torch you, plain and simple.
And Holiday kicks to Butler. A quick shot there, and it's off target.
They have been board dominant in this game. That's definitely been a factor in crafting this huge lead.
And it's been a well-rounded performance. I mean, strong rebounding has certainly been at the center of it, but it's been good on a number of levels.
Now, here's Oladipo after the miss from Jay, and finished off by Oladipo.
Oladipo skying through the air. I love seeing that. Has great speed and uses that as a launching pad towards the hoop.
And Clark, you played your entire career with the Pacers. What was your favorite memory during that time?
Well, certainly realizing the dream of being an NBA player, Kevin. I was the 8th pick overall. It was close to where I played in college at Ohio State. And then being able to perform at a high level to be a unanimous all-rookie team selection, that was a pretty good highlight for me starting my career.
And now Orlando on the break. Ross is running, and Ross with the slam.
Oh, the speed of T. Ross. Really something to see in the open court.
For Indiana, they've gone 4-6 from the field since the start of the third. Time called here. Indiana decides to talk it over.
Yeah, he's got to make some adjustments here. Just too easy to score in the lane against them right now.
Yeah, there's no reason why they should be scoring at will down there easily as they have. I mean, they've got to be more aggressive inside.
Bender, he's checked in for the Pacers have made 2 of their previous 3 free throws in today's game. The free throw drops for Leaf. 50 seconds left in the third. Grant finds Fournier. To the left side wing. Offensive rebound, Isaac. And it's sent back by Turner.
What timing from Turner. I mean, that's a big part of blocking shots. Reading the shooter and then timing it perfectly to send that shot in reverse.
And that's the kind of lead pass we've come to expect from him.
And so here's Orlando, following the score by Indiana.
Great basketball from him, Kevin. A commanding performance, helping add to the lead this quarter.
Here is Cook. He's covered by Grant. Right side, Butler shoots over Isaac, and there are the Pacers with another bucket.
You know, this is Butler's game. He's a polished mid-range shooter. Defensively, you've got to close on him fast.
And some guys just have a nose for scoring, and this one couldn't have been any easier.
Yeah, that was actually no defense at all there, Craig. I mean, layups don't come any easier than that. I mean, they're piling it on now.
And so it's Orlando, leading by a full 31 points at the end of the quarter. The scoring has been tremendous, and they are shooting lights out with very high accuracy. We've got more in store for you right after this. And let's listen in on what Nate McMillan had to say to his team.
Okay, you gotta win this quarter. Listen, defend without fouling early. Okay, defend without fouling early. All right, and we get it out and we run.
And there have been two very different performances from these teams today as we get going in quarter number 4. Noah is out there with Johnson. And it's Rajon Rondo. Then there's Jimmy Butler. So that's the group out there for Indiana. Rondo passes to Butler. To the inside. That's tipped. Here's Johnson. And there's 2 points. Working on the glass, paying off that time.
And now they're shooting it pretty well. That was not something we would have said in that first half.
Some nice ball movement by the Magic. Drains it from beyond the arc. And that's now 38 points for Jay. And look at how the hustle game has been going for the Magic.
We've seen them make the extra effort from a defensive standpoint, closing out airspace and sending shots back.
They haven't wasted time getting the ball up the court tonight either, and it's resulted in a lot of fast break points.
And Indiana making a change here. Holiday's checked in, and a switcher also for Orlando. Owundu's checked in. The shot by Holiday, no good. Passes it to Vucevic. And again, it's Orlando with the 3.
They've given up a lot of three-pointers here today.
And their defensive rotations have been non-existent.
Fourth quarter still young, just over a minute play. Clark, if you were a general manager, and I think you'd make an outstanding one, during the pre-draft process in particular, a player has declined to work out for you. Would you still consider drafting him?
Yeah, I would consider it. And again, there would be some extenuating circumstances. Why has he declined? What have we seen? Obviously, I'm hopeful that my scouting staff has taken a look at him, and I've seen the kid up close and in person and done my due diligence, so I've got a comfort level with who he is and what he can become. But I don't think the declining of a workout is enough reason to just dismiss a prospect that you like.
And he makes no mistake on the slam dunk.
And guys got careless with the ball there, and the turnover leads to the big stuff.
Once he came up right with the steal, he went straight on the attack.
That's exactly the way to do it too, Kevin. Go hard to the bucket and don't let them set up the defense.
Grant against Holiday. Outside Butler, 4 on the shot clock. Indiana needs to get a shot off. Rebounded by Vucevic. And here's Grant. He'll bring it up for the Orlando Magic. Owundu kicks to Grant. Just over 2.5 minutes played now here in the final quarter of regulation.
Boy, that's a rebounding clinic right there. He boxed out and then went up aggressively and strong for it.
Here's Butler. Inside, Johnson. The shot's good on the assist by Butler. Butler's got his 3rd assist on the night.
Don't think you're going to get a better look than that, and it's Butler who makes it possible with an excellent feed.
And there's the whistle on the shot. Took the foul, shot misses. He'll be shooting 2. And Indiana called for the foul. That free throw good from Jay. With social media providing instantaneous news, Clark, players have to really watch what they say now. I mean, before they hit the send button.
Yeah, you got to pause before you peck, and you got to pause before you post. That's one of the things I would tell.
Well said. Well said.
That's what I would tell guys when I was talking about this landscape that they're in. Heavily scrutinized. And to the NBA players' credit, they've done a great job with social media. They're very visible. They're very accessible. They're well connected to the community through their platforms. But you do have to exercise some caution in how you go about your social media profile.
Rajon Rondo is checked in for Indiana.
And you know what? This guy is just a natural-born scorer.
And we're about 3.5 minutes into the fourth quarter. Pass to Bender to the inside. Here's Turner, and it's slammed in by Turner.
Yes, and with this one winding down, it's obvious to everyone who watched it. Just a total mismatch and a true show of strength for the Magic.
when you shoot this well from three-point range, you're really hard to stop. The defense didn't rotate out fast enough to stop the hot shooters.
Yeah, exactly, Kevin. They were lethal from deep.
And it'll mark their 4th win on the year, actually their 5th win on the year.
And so by winning the first of 3 to play in this season series, it should give them plenty of momentum and confidence for the next time they'll have to lace up their sneakers against the Pacers.
And you know, looking back at all the contributions tonight, it was a really phenomenal all-around game for Jay.
There wasn't much they could do to slow him down as he was converting every good chance he got.
And leaving nothing to chance here on this game-clinching run.
Exactly. Cold-blooded. Separation solidified. Great effort.
And Bender throws it down.
And Bender at his size, now he's a tall guy. He can definitely slam it down when given the chance.
No good from Jay. 34 seconds left to play here in the 4th. Moore against Grant. And Moore kicks to Rondo. Five to shoot. Takes the 3. Ross grabs the board. Here's Jay, and he banks in the layup. Jay's got 47 points.
Yeah, with this lead, that's probably going to do it. Fans heading for the exits.
And, Greg, you know how hard it is to win on the road, but they seem to have this one firmly in control and have been very impressive today.
And so it's Orlando taking this one by a big margin. A resounding victory for them. And, Greg, in enemy territory, no less.
That's exactly right. But with the way they controlled the game and just completely took the crowd out of it, that's how to get it done on the road.
Thank you for joining us. That'll do it for now. For Clark Kellogg, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan thanking you for watching the NBA, presented by 2K Sports. We'll see you next time. Have a great evening.
See that? Ooh, that's what I'm talking about. Man. Good game, baby.
How many players?
The 2K Sports pregame show.
Greetings, everybody. Welcome to 2K Sports. I'm Ernie Johnson here with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. The fans are filling the seats in Orlando, the site of our broadcast, and where the Magic will be going up against the Indiana Pacers. For Indiana, they dropped the first matchup against this squad. They'll try to even the series in tonight's game. Some teams fast out of the gate, others not so lucky. Kenny, for the teams that have started slowly, how do they turn the tide?
You know what? About a week ago, I was talking to a friend of mine about this, and I was like, when that happens, you can't panic. The season's just begun. Identify the real problems before you start tinkering on things.
Sometimes a lineup change can help. Things may just have to work themselves out, though.
Time now for tip-off. We get it to Kevin Harlan. He's got the call.
Don't embarrass him too much tonight, AI.
Yes, don't forget to come out to the game for calendar day. What better way to pass
The skyline of Orlando is seen here during a gorgeous sunset. Quite a backdrop for our broadcast tonight. Welcome, everyone. Thanks for tuning in to 2K Sports. We've got some NBA action for you coming up. Alongside Doris Burke and Greg Anthony, this is Kevin Harlan. And on the sidelines, Hall of Famer David Aldridge. Last outing for Orlando, they won that game against the Pacers in Indiana. And there wasn't much question as to how that game was going to turn out. They absolutely put the hammer down on them.
I mean, they were so impressive offensively. And when you do that, that can really help you on the road.
I think intensity is the key, right, Greg? When you play with energy on the offensive end, good things usually happen.
Let's check out Indiana's starting lineup. Sabonis and Turner inside. Then there's Victor Oladipo. Then there's Jimmy Butler. And it's Holiday in at the 1 spot. Early on, just watching certain veteran players, Doris, continuing to play at a high level after so many years.
And what you love is the great ones seem to adjust their games along the way, and not only adjust their games, but add dimensions, whether it's being able to go down into the low post position if you're a point guard, a 2 guard, or even a 3-man. But the other part of this, Kevin, is the off-the-court stuff. The better nutrition that these guys are being much smarter about, the strength and conditioning programs they're putting themselves through in the offseason. All of that raises the level in the NBA.
So the Indiana Pacers able to put the first points up on the board. No good from Jay. And on our sideline, our reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, I spoke briefly with Nate McMillan. I asked him what reasons he cited for their disappointing record so far. He said, it's not so easy to put a finger on. I think we may lack the killer instinct of some of the better clubs. We haven't displayed the confidence to finish teams off even when we have them on the ropes. It's been a rough year for them, Kevin. Back to you.
All right, David, thanks. Sabonis, and slam dunk by Sabonis.
You can get a real sense that Victor Oladipo loves sharing the wealth. What a nice look.
Fournier against Oladipo for 3. That shot off the mark. And Indiana will come the other way. Last time they met was in Indiana.
Really a resounding loss the last time they matched up. They got absolutely manhandled on the boards.
You know, sometimes it's about gang rebounding, making sure everyone's in on the responsibility to board it. Let's see if it's more of a group effort tonight. Boy, they wanted to hit the ground running today, but it hasn't happened. Just 1 for 5 from the field.
Down low, 5 to shoot. Kept alive. Shot's good by Butler. Butler's got 5 points so far.
One thing we know about Jimmy Butler, he's going to stay in a play. Nice job on the offensive glass.
And it's good for 2.
Yeah, good awareness there. He sees an opening and doesn't hesitate.
And that's not the type of defense you want to play, right? You've got to make it more difficult than that. Layups are too easy.
The shot by Holiday, no good.
The D slow to rotate, and he misses out on an easy chance from mid-range. Boy, nice feed, leading him into some space. A nice catch on the run, too. Wow.
First quarter of play, we're about 3 minutes in. Indiana's gone 1 of 2 from long range in the first quarter. So timeout called here, the first for Indiana. Last game matched up with the Magic, a tough loss there.
Yeah, we saw no matter what they tried offensively, the opponent just had the answer.
Well, that was an absolute beatdown, and you hope that they learn and move on from it.
So Orlando going with an almost entirely new group here. Bamba is checked in for Vucevic. Jonathan Isaac comes in for Aaron Gordon. Ross is checked in for Fournier. And DJ Augustine subbed in for Grant. .157 left in the first quarter of the game. Cook, the pass to Butler, shoots over Isaac, and once again off the mark by Indiana. Orlando, they've gone 3 of 7 from the field since we've gotten underway.
And Jimmy Butler, something of a quirky character, has a ritual whenever he's at a grocery store of paying the person's bill behind him. Doesn't care if it's 99 cents or 2,000.
Here is Cook, following the score by Mohamed Bamba. Now here's Butler. He's guarded closely. He hits the back iron and sinks the shot. Butler's got his 3rd bucket of the night.
Well, Jimmy Butler is a gifted offensive player. On that particular instance, a nice interior score.
Yes, that goes in.
And their post play has been really solid right off the bat.
And it's Cook with the ball for the Indiana Pacers. Trailing by 2. Good, and a nice assist from Noah. Cook's got his first 2 points.
Now, how about the vision of Joakim Noah wastes no time delivering that pass?
Jay, and it is flushed down with a nice jam.
And he gives that rim a good tug on the way down.
Well, that's how you drive your point home right there. 51 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Pass to Noah. First trip to the line for him here.
And not the guy you want to see at the line too often.
And it's the Pacers with the ball. 3-point lead. Here's Oladipo. Count it. His second make in 4 attempts.
And they've done well at taking advantage of some late defensive rotations and getting the ball in the paint.
On the court for Indiana. Sabonis and Turner inside. Then there's Jimmy Butler. Then there's Victor Oladipo. And it's Holiday in at the point guard.
And when you've got a big man who can shoot from distance like that, what a huge advantage.
And on our sideline, our reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, Jay in that last matchup against the Pacers was terrific. He ended up with 47 points and was very efficient on offense. He picked his spots on when to keep the ball moving or to shoot. He put up numbers that really jumped out in the box score. A very solid performance. Kevin will see what he's got in his arsenal tonight.
All right, David, thank you, guys. Could you believe that performance? Wow.
I mean, it was really something to see. Yeah, he showed everybody just how special he is when he is on his game.
Well, that was an elite performance, and it didn't seem to matter what approach they used to try to slow this guy down. He had an answer for everything.
Shot clock at 6. And up the court come the Magic on the break. And 2 free throws coming up, unable to get that one to go with all the contact. It's on Jimmy Butler.
Wow, he got whacked on that one. Shouldn't be much debate there.
The Magic shooting their first free throws here tonight.
And a season ago, they hit about 75% of their free throws.
And they now lead as the free throw drops for him. Well, court vision, Doris, one of those intangible skills. You had it when you played, and when it comes to seeing the floor, I'm sure you have people that impress you with the way they see what's going on.
Kevin, I feel very lucky and fortunate to have witnessed one of the seminal players of his generation and arguably the greatest passer in the history of the NBA, and that's LeBron James. I mean, this guy's ability to make any pass, to put a 50-foot pass on a rope from one side of the floor, maybe from the hash mark to the opposite corner, and put it in the shooting pocket of different players is mind-boggling. At the center spot, you've got the young and talented and pass-first center of Nikola Jokic. And then, of course, the man who, to me, for a 10-year stretch, was the best pure point guard in the NBA, and that's Chris Paul. And listen, historically, some of the guys I loved watching, Steve Nash, John Stockton, I loved Mo Cheeks. Listen, I'm very partial to men who want to distribute the basketball and who take special relish in watching guys score baskets off their work.
Timeout called the Pacers. And when you look at Evan Fournier, he's just a reliable source for points whenever he's on the floor.
Yeah, and Fournier is a bit of a quiet scorer. I mean, he always ends up with a lot of points, but doesn't tend to wow you with any individual plays. Terrific shooter who just makes the most of his touches and his minutes whenever he's on the floor.
That's their third straight make off an assist.
The Magic shooting their third free throw attempt of the game. That's good from Jay.
Boy, showing a lot more aggressiveness now after making 0 trips to the line in the first quarter.
And Holiday kicks to Butler. To halt the run, and misses it off the right side of the rim.
Yeah, really frustrating right now. They just can't seem to stem the tide here.
Nothing they're doing on the defensive end is working. They've got to figure something out, and fast.
And they keep hammering away at them inside, forcing the ball into the paint.
Holiday finds Butler to the inside. Turner. The kick outside to Butler. That falls. Nice speed that time from Turner. 10 points for Butler.
And they're shooting really well from long range this quarter. They should keep looking to the three-point shot for some extra offense.
With nobody on him, he buries the jumper.
Boy, this play is perfectly in sync. Butler gets just the space he needs.
Right side, Holiday. Double team on Holiday. And wrestling for it there, but no one has possession. We'll have a jump ball. So it's Orlando now. To the middle, shoots from 12. The shot's good from Jay. Jay's got 12 now in this quarter.
And that's his go-to move right there in the low post.
And so it's the Orlando Magic holding on to an 8-point lead heading into the break. They've got a big advantage in the turnover stats because of their intense defense. We'll get right back to the action when we return. And if you're just joining us in this one, first half is in the books, 1 half to go. It's been one outstanding game from Jay.
And we saw his work over the first 2 quarters, really pushing the action and consistently finding the open man.
It felt like he owned that first half because he involved his guys with his passes, found different ways to take advantage of the defense.
And now let's check out the lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go for the second half of basketball. So on the floor for Orlando. Inside, we have Gordon and Vucevic. Grant is out there with Evan Fournier, and it's Jay in at the threesome.
I love this approach. Despite the lead, still attacking, adding fuel to the fire.
They are absolutely relentless right now, Greg. There's no end in sight. They are going for it.
Here's a look at the schedule for the Orlando Magic. On Saturday, they'll be facing Joel Embiid. and the Philadelphia 76ers. Then on Tuesday, they'll be facing Hassan Whiteside and the Miami Heat.
And the matchup with the Timberwolves, this is one where it would take a complete meltdown for them not to come away with the win. Anything can happen, but I'd be shocked if they don't come out on top.
Well, this is where Evan Fournier has a feel for where to go in transition. Really good job.
Pacers trail by 12. Pass to Oladipo. Down low. Vucevic with the block.
Well, the reach, the timing, Vucevic using all of that 7'4" wingspan to turn that shot away.
Tries again. Makes it off the glass. Vucevic has got his second basket.
And some guys just have a nose for scoring, and this one couldn't have been any easier.
Well, really good awareness by the scorer. You're seeing an opening in the defense and exploiting it beautifully.
Here's Butler. Second chance shot. That one's good, and the Magic lead is cut down to just 12 points with the basket from Turner.
Well, it took 4 tries, but they get their first bucket in the second half.
Vucevic the pass to Jay. Back to Vucevic. And that one drops. Vucevic has got 4 points now in the quarter.
Well, this is about the stellar interior game of Nikola Vucevic. Defender in his grill, no problem.
And the Pacers call time here, with college basketball expanding the three-point arc out to FIBA range. Doris, does that set the table, you think, for the NBA to move its arc, their three-point shooting line, out as well?
I think one of the things that I would like to...
The Magic have gone a perfect 7 of 7 from the line tonight.
Shooting one. JJ Redick.
The free throw drops for Redick.
We're still waiting for that first miss from the line this half.
Pass to Bender. Back to Rondo. A good finish at the rack off the slick feed.
If he's one thing, he's efficient in the paint. Rondo really good with the positioning there close to the basket.
Isaac kicks to Redick. The pass to Jay. Launches it. The rebound by Cook.
They've been the better rebounding team by a healthy margin, but it hasn't been enough.
There's 38 seconds left here in the third quarter. Bender with a wide open look, and again it's Indiana converting.
Well, listen, though Dragan Bender is still filling out his frame, he can fill it up on the catch and shoot. There's no worries about that part.
Jay, and the rebound paying off as they pick up 2 on the second chance bucket right there.
It's starting to look like a repeat of last night, guys. He's battling really hard out there.
Oh, he sure is. I mean, these past 2 games, his energy level has been sensational. Whether it's a putback like that or other hustle plays, he's been everywhere.
Here's Sabonis, and slam dunk by Sabonis.
Yeah, Rondo just knows how to wheel and deal, has that exceptional feel for when one of his guys is open.
Here's Jay. How's that for an answer? Right back with the dunk.
Now flying high and throwing it down with the one-hander.
One of his favorite moves right there, guys. And so it's Orlando in command with a 16-point lead as the buzzer sounds. And we'll see if they can keep up their tremendous shooting they've been dialed in so far from the field. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. And it's time to bring up the State Farm assist of the game.
Yeah, a terrific, unselfish play right here. Set up his teammate, and how about the setup this was?
Boy, GA, how about the secondary playmaking you are getting? Great to have that from the shooting guard spot.
And we reach the fourth quarter in a game that may be already out of hand. Magic leading by 16. And a look at the 5 for the Pacers to start the fourth quarter. They've got Domantas Sabonis. He's out there with Oladipo. Bender out there with Cook. And it's Holiday in at the point.
Yeah, nice, strong finish there. Nearly a three-point opportunity.
Both free throws good from Jay. Pacers trail by 18. Now here is Holiday. Kicks it to Oladipo. 5 on the clock. Oladipo draws the double. Over Gordon. Here's Sabonis. Rebounded by Vucevic. Vucevic has got 6 rebounds here tonight. Jay, the pass to Fournier. Good ball movement here by the Magic. No good from Jay.
Well, 2 long-range bombs in the first, but that's stalled out right now.
Here's Cook. Can't hit that one. And Orlando the other way now. And out of bounds as the Pacers gain possession. Indiana making some changes. Turner comes in for Bender. And it's Butler in for Quinn Cook. And so it's Turner with it. He brings it up for the Pacers. It's an 18-point game. And Oladipo kicks to Turner. And it's Turner finishing it off.
Well, Kevin, how about that? 7 foot, put it on the deck, and finish with authority. Miles Turner doing work.
Oh, how about using the rim to get some true hang time?
You know, he just wanted to make sure the landing was softer than the takeoff. Here's Holiday. And the Pacers call time here.
Yeah, he's got to make some adjustments here. Just too easy to score in the lane against them right now.
But, Greg, no resistance, right? They're allowing them to get any kind of shot they want close. That simply can't happen.
Final quarter of play, about a minute and a half off the clock into it. Here's Butler. It's good. The assist that time from Holiday. 16 points for Butler.
Moving it around, 8 of their last 10 coming off assists.
Vucevic with the bucket. And the Magic lead by 18.
You have to admire the confidence of Nikola Vucevic. This close, he's focused on putting 2 on the board.
Holiday, the pass to Sabonis. And the call will be against Sabonis. That'll be his second foul of the game. Magic leading by 18. Passes it to Jay. And here's Vucevic. It doesn't go for him. Good work defensively by Turner. The Pacers have gone just 33% from the field in the fourth quarter so far. They are 2 of 6.
Well, this is why Butler has become a real threat on the offensive end. Yes, he's a great scorer, but he is equally capable and adept at finding.
Oh! Goodness. Wow.
Wow, how about the burst? Aaron Gordon off the floor so fast. Don't sleep on him, gentlemen. You're going to look silly.
And that was an Unleash Chaos replay, courtesy of Under Armour, wreaking havoc at the rim. Butler feeling it out a bit. Shoots over Vucevic, and it's Butler missing.
He does everything right except drain the shot.
And stolen by Butler. To the paint. Here's Sabonis, and he uses the glass on the layup.
This guy's a skilled interior scorer. There's height, there's great shot selection. Sabonis doing work right now.
Time called here. The Magic decide to talk it over.
Well, sometimes it just takes an opportunity in the NBA, and Aaron Gordon has made the most of it. Since taking over that power forward role full time, he has shown remarkable improvement. Plays with more confidence and aggression on offense and has transformed himself as a player.
A chance now to recognize our Jordan Player of the Game, Jay.
Yeah, and his performance has been a jaw-dropper. He must have been feeling great coming into the building tonight, because once he hit the court, it was all working for him. He was in a zone.
What a connection he has to these fans. They love him here. And the more he has games like this, the deeper that connection gets. And Orlando has possession. Fournier goes in, and he dunks it down.
Well, solid at recognizing when to attack on the interior. Fournier staying aggressive.
And we're about 3 minutes into the fourth quarter. And for Gordon, in his first full season as a starter, he instantly became a star in the league.
And when he was taken fourth overall, this was the type of player the team was hoping he'd become. His outside shot has improved by leaps and bounds and always plays with speed and athleticism. And now I think he's got a much more fully rounded game, which makes him dangerous.
You know what? There seems to me to be an infectious energy when we're talking about Domantas Sabonis. This is a big man with a great future in the NBA.
And the shot's good from Jay.
It feels like that one could be the dagger. Not enough time to completely erase this deficit.
Well, Greg, it's going to be tough, that's for sure. A shot like that has to devastate the other team.
Butler against Vucevic. Shot clock at 6. And it's Butler missing.
The fadeaway, not a terrible idea, but he needs to make the game easier on himself. He's overcomplicating things.
And so just rolling to the finish line now in what has been a very confident-looking performance for the Magic.
Free throws were a big factor in this one.
You know, it's always great to get a lot of shots at the line, but the key, they were able to convert tonight. You start making free throws, and it can get you the win.
And so with this win, they'll move to 6 victories on the season.
And they've taken control of the season series. This brings them to 2-0 with 1 game left against this squad.
And you know, when you look at the huge impact he had, just a monster game for Jay.
Boy, what a security blanket this guy has been on the offensive end. He made sure they didn't suffer any cold spells. And anytime the offense started to get stagnant, they could get him the basketball, and he'd get them in the right position.
Rondo with it, now guarded by Redick, and they double up Rondo. Vucevic with the block, and he gets it back. Bender with the bucket. 34 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Here's Jay, and contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here.
Clearly a foul.
That free throw good from Jay. He's off on the second. 27 seconds left in the game. Some nice passing here by Indiana, and he makes that one.
I'll tell you, he takes the window of opportunity and delivers a nice pass into the post.
Stolen. Got a piece of it. Inside. Pulls up. That's short off the rim. And here is Moore. And so it's Orlando taking this one by a big margin. They won this game going away. They were the better basketball team by far tonight.
And you got to commend this sort of dominance, particularly here at home. It's a great feeling when you play almost a perfect game and to have that crowd be so pumped up.
And that'll wrap it up, folks. For Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. We'll see you later.
Clean money, capers got it dirty. Getting money, gotta give me some. Selling, about to give me one. Blowing.
Now, it's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Good evening, sports fans. This is 2K Sports. Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny Smith. Tonight, we'll be watching the Orlando Magic playing against the Philadelphia 76ers at Wells Fargo Center. Checking out the 76ers, they are hungry for a win here. Last season, they got swept by this team. 4 straight losses, something they haven't forgotten. Well, we have a good one tonight. 2 powerhouse clubs.
That and the telescope keep one lens on the money flow, the others golden compliments, oh trusty well. Everything I hate in the world, play Mozart, play a steak from the card park, never stay placed up tables. And I wait.
And now, your Philadelphia 76ers starting lineup. The other folk.
Welcome, sports fans. Thanks for joining us. It's the NBA on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan, and by my side, Chris Webber and Greg Anthony. From the sideline, Hall of Famer David Aldridge. Coming in off the road, the 76ers are back in Philadelphia for this game. And this game, the first chance they've had to see Orlando. The guys, they got swept in last year's series, and you know that's the first and foremost thing in their minds as they look to turn the tables this time around.
And in this matchup, last season, not one of the games went their way.
Now the starting group for Orlando. Inside, we have Gordon and Vucevic. Grant is out there with Evan Fournier, and it's Jay in at the 3 slot. Well, Chris, tonight we see 2 teams with a lot of upside and still realizing what they can do, where their season can go.
Oh, it's a look into the future of the league, Kevin, and you gotta love it. It's always exciting to watch the young players develop. A foul right off the bat. You hate to pick up your first one so quick.
Simmons against Grant. Puts it up from 15. No good from Simmons. The Magic have gone 1 of 3 from the field to start this one so far. The shot's good from Jay.
Yeah, good awareness there. He sees an opening and doesn't hesitate.
Well, that opening right there, that's just because the defense failed to rotate.
And Jay gets the whistle that time. Simmons with it. He's coming off a 16-point game against the Cavaliers in Cleveland.
And there really was a physical aspect of his performance that was off the charts. He was taking it right at him, and he just kept getting those calls and getting to the line.
And a moment now to reset the lineups, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up for the second quarter of basketball. On the court for Orlando, Fournier and Ross, they're the wings. Bamba is out there with Jay. Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with David Aldridge.
Well, Jay in that last matchup against the Pacers was terrific. He finished with 30 points, and along with what he did on offense, he had a big defensive night as well. He put up great numbers in a terrific effort. It's not a game that anyone wanted to miss, and they'll be looking for a repeat performance tonight, Kevin.
David, appreciate the report. He was a one-man show in that game.
And, you know, it'll be interesting to see how much that took out of him. I mean, he'll have a hard time putting up anything even close to those numbers here tonight.
I mean, well, it should have taken all the energy out of him. It should have taken something out of him, Greg. I mean, he pushed the envelope in every way that night. He was unreal.
The raw talent Bamba has, just so impressive. A shot-blocking specialist who also makes an impact on the offensive end.
Here is Mason, and the officials call him for a 3-second violation. Here's a look at the schedule for the Orlando Magic. On Tuesday, they'll be facing Hassan Whiteside and the Miami Heat. And then on Thursday, they'll take on Karl Anthony Towns and the Minnesota Timberwolves. Jacks up a 3, and it's Philadelphia with the rebound. Tough loss coming against Cleveland in their last game played.
And really, man, they played their hearts out. Missed a couple opportunities down the stretch, and that was the difference.
Absolutely right, Greg. That's all it takes. A play here, a play there, a detail that isn't accounted for, it stings.
And the Magic making a change here. Augustine's checked in. The 76ers shooting their first free throw of the game right now. Well, see, Webb, there were a ton of huge personalities on this 76ers team, from the stars right on down to the rotation players.
Well, it starts with the Embiid. You know, he's talking junk out there. And think about the quiet swagger that Simmons plays with. This group genuinely get along, and they play for each other. The trials they went through to get here as a core, they should have all the confidence in the world.
Here is Mason after the made shot from Jay. Mason kicks to Simmons. From 13, he squares up and sinks it. Simmons got it all tied up now for the 76ers.
Can't afford to lose Simmons in the screen of roll. When you do, he tortures you for that mistake.
He just powered that one down.
One of the game's top dunkers. Here's Smith. Quarter two, and just under 2.5 minutes gone by. Johnson finds Simmons. Ross grabs the board. The Magic have gone 3 of 7 shooting the ball here in the second quarter. Nice shot there by Bamba. Bamba's got the lead up to 4 now for the Magic.
Really good at getting down the floor. When Bamba is hustling, good things often happen in transition.
And Philadelphia calls time here.
Okay, Philadelphia, let's get the hands of your own Sixers dancers.
And Philadelphia will go for a different look here. Embiid, he's checked in for Johnson. Green comes in for Ben Simmons. Durant's checked in for Smith. And Jeremy Lamb subbed in for Mason. The Magic also changing it up. Vucevic checked in for Bamba. Jonathan Isaac comes in for Terrence Ross. And it's Jaren Grant in for Fournier. And so it's Lamb with it. He brings it up for Philadelphia. Trailing by 4. Fultz. That's in. He's got 2 made now, and he's shooting 2 for 3.
And the talent Fultz has, it's evident. He's terrific at finding ways to score close to the basket.
Here's Vucevic, and that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle, and 2 shots coming up. That one on Embiid. Chris, your team's battled Kobe Bryant many times. Name some of the players today who you think can compare mentally to the Kobe Bryants and the Michael Jordans, guys you play.
Oh, wow. Well, Kobe says he's seen it in Kyrie Irving.
76ers making a switch here. McRae's checked in. And the Magic making a change here as well. Jay's checked in for Gordon. And the pass to Reddick. Out to the wing. Once again off the mark, Orlando.
A defender nowhere near him, and he still can't hit it. He wants that one back.
And they take the lead. And the 76ers lead by 1.
He spots up so well off the ball. Lamb, excellent all-around jump shooter.
Vucevic trying to get open. Shot's good from Jay.
Look at this. I like this. Team basketball. Keeping the ball moving till they find the right shot.
Another steal. It's good. Only a few seconds into the shot clock. Jay's got 6 in the quarter.
Well-coordinated shot mechanics, especially for a guy with his length.
Well, come on. He's fluid from that medium range. He gets everything working together. Off target with what's a pretty good look from mid-range.
It's good. Now it's a 5-point Magic lead.
How about the passing? They are moving the ball without any thought, without any individual agenda.
And Lamb kicks to Green. He's looking for Embiid and finds him.
It's easy to admire Embiid. I mean, the game seems to come so easy to the big fella, especially when it comes to dunking.
Now 8 seconds separating the 2 clocks. No good from Jay.
Pretty high percentage look with the D playing off. Just couldn't knock it down.
15 seconds left in the first half of the game. And Green slams it in.
And Green getting off the floor there for the dunk. Really like watching him sky up for those.
No good from Jay.
The inside just a bit too congested for him to get the usual shot he would have with rhythm. Yeah, and I think he was surprised to see that pass coming his way and just really reacted too late.
5 seconds left to play here in the second quarter. Bangs home the trifecta.
Yeah, love watching Isaac find the open teammate. Has great floor awareness out there and just knows when one of his guys has a clean look.
And a close game so far through the first 2 quarters as we reach halftime. Magic lead by 4. And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David. Okay, David, much appreciated. And now time for halftime. So we'll be back in just a bit to get the third quarter underway. And as we get into this third quarter, as we've seen so far, neither team able to create much separation on the scoreboard yet. It's been one outstanding game from Jay.
Yeah, the kind of leadership he provides, the pinpoint passing, we saw it all there on display in that first half.
Well, as a finisher, you're expected to play in that kind of environment because you know you could get the ball at any time.
Jeremy Lamb out there with Ben Simmons, and it's Durant. Then there's Embiid, and it's Green in at the 4 spot. And that's the group for Brett Brown as we begin the second half. You know, you watch Ben Simmons play, and it isn't a surprise, Chris, that he's a threat to go off for a triple-double every time he suits up.
Well, Simmons is going to have a lot of triple-doubles in his career. Great size and a knack for the ball when it comes to rebounding.
Kicks to Lamb. Pass to Embiid. Here's Simmons. And the shot is long. Orlando leading by 3. Isaac passes to Jay. And he makes it look easy, dunking it hard with one hand.
Yeah, I mean, maybe could have tried for a more memorable dunk than that one.
And we know he's capable of those memorable ones. Lamb finds Simmons. Looking to get back on track here. 2 points. That one goes. Simmons got his third basket of the night.
And they're forcing the ball inside, and it's working like a charm.
Oh, inflicting some punishment with the two-hand flush.
They're going for the throat. Lamb passes to Simmons. And Vucevic pulls it down. Vucevic has got 5 rebounds tonight and foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line. Orlando shooting their 5th and 6th free throws of the game. First one falls for him. When it came to a big man's responsibilities, you helped pave the way for so much change in that regard, but there's some of the big C-Web now doing that weren't done when you were playing.
I don't know, Kevin, if it was anything that they weren't doing, but it's the freedom to do it with consistency. So even if we talk about a Larry Bird who only could shoot maybe a 3.5 a game, let's just round it up to 2 threes a game. Well, now what if Larry Bird had the freedom to shoot 10 threes a game like guys do now? And so I think that the game has caught up with players' skill set as opposed to the skill set catching up with players' game. So no longer are you held to being a big man. Now you can be a basketball player, and being a basketball player for Dirk Nowitzki is much better than him being a big man. Dirk Nowitzki, being a basketball player that he is, means that he is a threat wherever he is on the floor because he's not just limited to a 2-foot box space there in the post. And for defenders like myself, I would much rather Dirk Nowitzki have to stay 2 feet in the post than to be able to shoot the ball whenever, wherever he wanted to. Because I tell you what, now you got a problem because he can knock it down from anywhere and everywhere that he wants to.
And just tacks a few more points onto their lead with the tomahawk.
That's bringing it down hard. And Simmons kicks to Durant. The basket good off the assist from Simmons. Simmons got 6 assists here tonight.
You can't leave anyone uncovered around Simmons. I mean, he's fantastic at seeing when one of his guys is open.
To the wing right side. Here's Jay. And it's off from 3-point range.
The game has been very close in a lot of areas, but rebounding has been the one differentiator thus far.
Here's Bamba, and the dunk by Bamba.
And how about the 9'6" standing reach Bamba has? I mean, it's unguardable this close. Dunks it with such ease.
And the 76ers call time here. Without question, Jay displaying his skills today.
Wow, it's time for them to switch up their defense on because what they've been doing so far is not working.
McRae's checked in for Smith. J.J. Redick's checked in for Orlando. And now we're 3 minutes into the third quarter of play. Fultz kicks to Simmons. And there's the feed to Johnson. Durant with the wide open look. Off target from three-point range. Magic leading by 4. Shot by Gordon, wide open. Drains the three-pointer. Gordon's got 10 points.
And how about the excellent court vision, just keeping the defense off balance?
Well, if you're his teammate, you love this right now because all you have to do is focus on finishing.
And the hook shot isn't one that a lot of guys use these days.
Here's Bamba. Banked in off the glass. Bamba's got the lead up to 7 now for the Magic.
And defensively, they are on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
Fultz kicks to Durant. To the middle, Simmons. That's tipped. Here's Bamba. It falls for the 6th time in 7 tries this contest. That's 86%.
And really, when Bamba has this positioning, you got to get it to him. He's a very reliable scorer from there.
Simmons left side. From the baseline. They get it again. Here's Johnson, and foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line.
You know what? And not a bad foul there. Johnson, an excellent finisher inside.
The 76ers shooting their 3rd and 4th free throw shots of the night.
And last season, 77% from the line. They could usually get the job done there.
Here's what Philadelphia's going with right now. Green, he's checked in for Ben Simmons. Lamb comes in for Kevin Durant. And it's Frank Mason in for Fultz. Vucevic checked in for the Magic. Sharon Gregg comes in for Terrence Ross. Some nice ball movement by the Magic. And he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2.
No question, he got bumped on that shot.
The Magic have shot 5 of 6 at the foul line tonight.
And a season ago, they hit about 75% of their free throws.
Embiid, he's checked in for Philadelphia. And a change for the Magic. Isaac's checked in.
I like that he's playing with an edge here in the second half. I mean, he didn't get to the line once in the first half.
3 seconds separate the shot clock and game clock. Embiid trying to break loose. That one falls. And that's 12 points for Jeff Green.
And when Green is feeling it, keep getting him the ball. He can really score from anywhere from the floor. Assists like that have typified their effort today. Terrific ball movement.
And here is Mason. Fader on the way. That one's good, and the Magic lead is cut down to just 6 points with the basket from Joel Embiid. And so it's Orlando with their lead standing at 6 points here at the end of the quarter. They've set the tone. They love their tempo. They're going to be very tough to stop. Right back after this break. And let's take now this moment to bring up our State Farm assist of the game.
And the definition of teamwork right there, guys. I mean, what great communication between them, and what a beautiful feed.
I mean, well, if you're the coaching staff, I mean, you're pumped up. This highlight will not only make it on the TV, it'll make it into the film session tomorrow.
And with 3 quarters behind us, we start the 4th quarter in what is still anybody's ball game. And so in the game for the Magic, we've got J.J. Redick is out there with Grant. Then there's Jonathan Isaac, and it's Vucevic in at the center position.
I mean, he's only getting more energy as the game goes along. An incredible second half.
The 76ers trail by 8. Now here's Lamb. Pass to Simmons. Dishes to Lamb. 6 on the shot clock. He kicks it to Embiid. That's in. That's his 5th field goal. He's shooting a hot 71%. 5 for 7. Now a timeout called by Orlando. And without a doubt, the voice of this team, the face of this franchise, is center Joel Embiid. Chris, he's embraced it from the beginning.
The 76ers knocked it out the park when they took the risk of drafting Embiid. To have a star like Embiid be so personable, it's rare. I mean, he's practically the voice of the city at this point.
And the Magic making a change here. Fournier is checked in. Pulls it up. Off the left rim and out.
Yeah, that's just poor decision-making. He's got to be better in those situations.
I love to hear his explanation of coach right there. I mean, that should be an interesting conversation.
Ben Simmons gets the bucket.
What focus from the young guard. I like how Simmons stayed locked in on scoring despite the contact.
Passes it to Jay. Boom, he jams it straight down.
And how about breaking out the Statue of Liberty on that dunk?
A nice way to pad that lead a little more, you're right. And so it's Lamb with it. He brings it up for Philadelphia. 6-point game. The Wizards on the road to face them after this game. That'll be the latter half of this 2-game homestand. No good from Simmons.
Well, his stroke has not been what they needed it to be, but looks like they're going to keep going to him.
Jay laid in with a nice touch off the glass. Jay's got 6 here in this quarter.
Yeah, the chemistry has been terrific. Really impressed with their offensive execution.
Simmons against Grant. No good from Simmons. Orlando leading by 8. The pass to Isaac. To the inside. Basket is good. He'll get a chance for one more at the line.
And some guys just have a nose for scoring. And this one couldn't have been any easier.
I mean, I don't know whether to say it's amazing or it's sad, but you're down double digits and you still allow an uncontested layup. Where is the pride? Where is your heart?
The 76ers making a switch here. Durant's checked in. Orlando also making some changes. Bamba is checked in for Vucevic. And Gordon subbed in for Isaac. And Simmons kicks to Durant. Over Gordon. Up it goes, and the Magic lead is cut down now to just 9 in the basket from Durant.
And a lot of teams avoid the mid-range jumper, but they seem to be using it well.
Pass to Grant. Outside Fournier. Here's Jay. Tries again. And Bamba with the lay-in.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
And Simmons kicks to Durant. And it's blocked by Gordon. And it's out of bounds. Last touch by Gordon. And Philadelphia making a change here. Fultz checked in. And here are the 76ers now. They trail by 11. Over in the corner, Green. That's good. And a nice assist from Durant. 15 points for Jeff Green.
Good recognition from Durant. He's a talented passer.
Magic have gone 5 of 7 from the field since the beginning of the fourth. Strong work at that end of the floor.
Hard work on the boards. A lot of competition for that one, but he's got the limp to be the first one, too.
Green dishes to Durant. And the jam by Kevin Durant.
Good movement there, and the lead pass was right where it needed to be.
Here's Bamba. Count it. And he's now 8 of 9 from the floor.
And even though Bamba needs to add a lot of strength, he does have the body control to convert through contact.
Pass to Durant. Down low, here's Green. Gets it to go for bucket number 8. He's taken just 10 shots.
And guys on defense gasping for air at this point.
Well, that's because both offenses are relentless. Each side trying to close this thing out.
Out of bounds as Orlando keeps possession. .130 left in the fourth quarter. The 76ers trail by 6 to the middle. That one misses. Excellent D there from Jay. Outside Gordon. And 2 free throws coming up. Unable to get that one to go with all the contact. It's on Markelle Fultz. Gets the first. That makes it a 7-point lead. And a tough break is his second attempt at the line. No good. Kicks to Durant. It falls for his 5th field goal of the night. Now shooting 5 for 8.
When you need a big bucket, you were looking for Durant every chance you get. He has delivered so many times in that situation.
Time call here. The Magic decide to talk it over. They're up by 5. There's a minute left in the fourth quarter. And now the presentation of our Jordan Player of the Game, Jay.
And guys, no doubt who our pick was going to be. He's made everyone else on the court look like they're playing at half speed. It's been total domination, and you can't help but just sit back and admire that performance.
Outside Fournier. Jay. The Magic again can't hit. Philadelphia's gone 3 of 7 tonight from three-point territory. No good from outside. Now here's Fournier, covered by Lamb. Back to Fournier. Count the bucket, coming off a perfectly placed assist.
And now they are probably too far ahead. It's going to be nearly impossible to get back in this one.
That's why you can't let yourself get in this deeper hole. Very little time now to climb out.
And the 76ers call time here. They're behind by 7. There's 38 seconds left in the fourth quarter of this one. Guys, what's your take?
I mean, it's iffy that there's enough time to even get a quick shot and a foul.
It's Durant on the wing. Shoots a fader. Count it! Oh, and that cuts the lead to just 5.
When things get tough, you start to lean on your stars, and Durant always seems to come up with a clutch shot.
And now they decide to foul intentionally. So the first one drops, and that increases their lead to 6. And he hits both free throws here. So now it's a 7-point game.
Okay, those free throws helping them to make the lead even safer.
Timeout called the 76ers. They're down by 7. We've got 28 seconds left in the fourth. Six-second difference between the shot and game clock. Good ball movement here by the 76ers. He kicks to Embiid, and there's the whistle. 3-second violation. And so it's Ross. He brings it up for Orlando. They've led by as many as 11 points. Here's Green. Smith right side. Mason for 3. That one doesn't go. So the Magic win it. They seem to relish their role as the bad guy here tonight.
You know, Kevin, I sense that as well. I mean, they really did feed off all of that negative energy this crowd was directing at them. I mean, they turned it around and used it as motivation to close out a significant win.
Thank you for joining us. That'll do it for now. For Greg Anthony, Chris Webber, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for watching the NBA, presented by 2K Sports. We'll see you next time.
So it's got like 3 layers of meats and cheese.